Hi everybody, Randy Hilarski here, coming at you from Panama City, Panama. Oh boy, what a day. The markets are green. Everything is up, including my HEX, which is up insanely. It had a beautiful 24 hours, and looking forward to the next couple weeks with HEX. We just broke out of that ascending triangle, and boom, beautiful. Now I'm not too excited about Bitcoin or Ethereum because even though they've had a small run here today, just not a very strong run. So let's see where this one goes. The Aurochs indicators are not doing too good when it comes to the weekly and the monthly. They might be green on the daily, but that's it. So that's not that doesn't give me solace. I'm not going to jump back in. I sold my Ethereum and my Bitcoin went to die over the weekend. So we'll see what happens. I'm not worried. My baby Hex is doing very well. I don't know. Did you guys have a dip in your crypto? We didn't feel a dip. Sorry to rub it in, but all the Hex haters out there, you guys, sooner or later you'll come around. All right, so what I want to talk about is all of this information that we've been hearing about El Salvador and all these other countries who are looking to make Bitcoin legal tender, including Panama. Panama is talking about making Bitcoin legal tender. Kind of a joke to me. We've been hearing rumors that people have been putting all kinds of things to the legislature here for years. Panama may be the logical one in Central America to do it since this is the banking center. So why haven't they done it yet? It's because they're comfortable. Politicians are comfortable. Bitcoin is just a sideshow for them. It's a pet project. And the people who are in charge of the banks probably don't like Bitcoin very much, at least until they get enough in their own bags or on their own balance sheets. So what I want to talk about is those of you who are looking to possibly expatriate and move to one of these countries. Now, I just passed my 10-year mark. My friend Jeff Berwick, he's been in Mexico for many years, a dollar vigilante. So you could follow him if you want to know more about what's going on for Mexico. But I consider myself quite knowledgeable when it comes to Panama. Been living here for a long time. We escaped here during the middle of the pandemic, and we went to Acapulco and Mazatlan in Mexico, but we didn't really enjoy it. We enjoyed seeing our friends, but the actual part of living in Mexico, I did not enjoy. Panama is more us, I should say. It's more modern. I don't know. It's up to your preferences. I really like it here. My wife has family here, obviously, so we have help with our son, which is really cool. In Mexico, every time we wanted to do something, we had to hire somebody to come watch Maximus. So just life is much easier here. And we have very good connections across the country. So it just makes it easier. Now, let's talk about residency in Panama. When I moved here, there was only a few ways. You could invest in teak farming to get your residency really quick. You could invest in a house, property, those kind of things to get residency. And then they came out with a program. It was under President Martinelli, where you get to put $5,000 in the bank. You set up a corporation, and a corporation here in Panama, and which would cost about another $5,000 with lawyer fees and all that. And you can get a residency in Panama. It was real easy. A lot of people were doing it. Well, Panama has decided that in August that goes away. If you haven't already applied for the Friendly Nations visa, which is the name of that one, you are out of luck. It is gone. If you try to do it right now, it's too late. Things move too slow. So they have replaced it with a digital nomad visa, But I foresee a big problem with the new digital nomad visa is that it requires $3,000 a month of provable income in order to qualify for the digital nomad visa. And on top of that, I think it's only good for 2 years. So that doesn't seem like a very valuable visa to me. There are TEAC programs. I think that you could do a basic TEAC program and it might cost you 21 grand. ECI development, and you can find ECI on the dollarvigilante.com website. They have a program right now that's doing the TEAC, so you can get residency that way. And I believe that one can lead to citizenship. But talk to the lawyers. Make sure first. The digital nomad visa does not lead to citizenship. You always check that first. If there's a visa from a country and they say, "Oh, come live here," and you think it leads to citizenship, better check twice, because a lot of times they don't. For me, I got married, right? I married a Panamanian, so I now qualify for citizenship, which means I qualify for my passport. So I'll be Panamanian citizenship in no time. I'll be Panamanian in no time. So let's talk about Costa Rica. Costa Rica is very cool. The only problem I have with Costa Rica is that the cost of living is a little bit high. Whenever we travel there, we always feel like our money disappears very fast. So I guess if you don't live in the main cities or the main tourist areas, your money will go further. But just remember, people think just because Costa Rica is a little bit more rural than Panama, if you leave Panama City, life gets really cheap. If you don't need to go to expensive restaurants, life here is pretty cheap. Today we went to this wonderful Indian restaurant right here on Via Argentina, and I think our whole bill was about $50. And oh my God, it was amazing. So, you can have really good meals here, and $50 is what a great meal will cost. When we were in Mexico, I think equivalent to be about $40. So a little bit cheaper in Mexico. Rent was cheaper in Mexico. It was easy to get around with the bus and by plane. That was what was great there. Here in Panama, if you want to get around, even though the bus infrastructure and all that is really easy to use, I still recommend having a car. So if you move to Panama and you want to go on trips all around the country, you're going to need a car. Unless you want to do rentals. Rental cars system works fine, but I do recommend a car here. If you're living in the city and you don't feel like traveling at all, we have the metro system and we have the bus system. And if you want to live a place where I live, totally walkable. Everything's walkable. And then you set up your mailbox, etc., and you receive your mail from the U.S. Gets sent directly to MBE, or you order on Amazon. Gets sent directly here, and you just have to pay for the shipping weight and some taxes. Mexico, they had Amazon.com Mex, so you just buy things and it'd be shipped right to your house. My wife was blown away. She never had that. She never had that in her life. There is no such thing as mail to your house in Panama. They don't even have addresses. It's ridiculous. Addresses as somebody from Europe or the U.S. or even Mexico would think of. So back to Costa Rica. I love Costa Rica. I think it's beautiful, but it's a little bit expensive for me. If you're into crypto, Costa Rica's not bad. They have a lot of other crypto folks there. Now, I just received a call from my friend in Nicaragua. They're getting out of Nicaragua. They said that there's some things happening there politically right now that they don't agree with. Opposition is getting arrested, rounded up, those kind of things. So it looks like Nicaragua could be looking at a rough patch again. We saw what happened, I think it was about 2 years ago, when Nicaragua had all those riots. It got really rough. The country took a year to recover, and now this shit's happening. So not very good. Honduras, pass over Honduras. Guatemala looks good. Beautiful country. We wanted to go visit recently, but instead we went to Mazatlan up in Mexico. And we did a lot of research about traveling around Guatemala. It looks absolutely gorgeous. I highly recommend taking a look at Guatemala. A lot of expats live there. The cost of living is pretty low. I think it'll be even cheaper than Mexico. These other countries, I don't know the residency requirements. You have to check on it yourself. We saw what happened with El Salvador. El Salvador is announcing all these Bitcoin things, getting all these headlines. Uh, Look, guys, they want headlines. These politicians, they love making a name for themselves. I'm not excited about what's happening with El Salvador. Making Bitcoin legal tender, great, cool. But who's going to use it as legal tender? Seriously. Seems like more of a political game, political ploy. But great. Maybe the dominoes will start falling. But I am not a fan of watching politicians and bankers using the name of Bitcoin to help promote themselves or even promote their countries. I did not get into crypto to be slobbing the knob of politicians and bankers. All right, so I'm not going to give them any credit for that. They could do everything privately. Great. President so-and-so, you want to use Bitcoin? Great. President so-and-so, you want to use Monero? You want to buy some certificates of deposit on the blockchain with Hex? Great. But don't get your government institutions involved. Some disingenuous bullshit. Seriously. I'm watching all these crypto people freaking, just pisses me off. Makes me want to bend over and dry heave into the toilet. Screw that shit. I'm not praising that stuff. So, sorry about that little rant. All right, so the next one we'll talk about is Mexico. Mexico residency is pretty straightforward. You get the 6 months, just like here in Panama, if you want to just come visit, which is really cool. 6 months is enough time to figure out whether you like something or not. Just like we found out that we're not big fans of Mexico. So after 6 and for us, we are actually overstayed our visa because we were told that if we overstay that we'll be qualified to get a temporary residency, the 4-year residency. Well, that really didn't work out because Mexico doesn't accept PayPal as proof of income because that's the only way that we receive USD. And they didn't accept it. So we got stuck, didn't know what to do, had to fly back to Acapulco from Mazatlan, pack up our apartment, and head to Panama. What a pain in the ass that was, guys. It was a freaking nightmare. I was pissed. My wife was pissed. Remember when we left the immigration office in Mazatlan, she just broke down in tears and was so upset that, just had a gnat fly in my nose, that they denied us because PayPal wasn't enough for proof of income. How freaking stupid was that? So we ended up having to move back to Panama, and we're so happy we did because Panama has been wonderful since we came back. The only thing we don't like is this stupid mask mandate, where we're supposed to be wearing a mask when we go outside. I never do. I get yelled at. It's okay. Government employees like to snub their nose at me. But since when do I listen to government employees? Cop actually slowed down his car one day, rolled down the window and said, "Put your mask on." Put it up. Walked 10 feet. Took it back off. Oh, God. Yeah. So I've getting a lot of questions about it, the whole residency thing. Look, guys, if you like modern, you like conveniences, you like malls, you like casinos, you like the beaches, jungle, technology stuff, Panama's probably up your alley. I really, really like it. It's seriously, it's wonderful. If I turned around and you can see way behind those buildings over there, that's Metropolitan Park. It's the biggest jungle in the whole world within city limits. You got monkeys in there, you got sloths, you got everything you can imagine that belongs in a jungle right over there in Metropolitan Park. It's amazing. So that's why I really like Panama. When everyone tells me, whenever somebody says to me, I want to check out Costa Rica, I'm like, why? Check out Panama. What's Costa Rica got that's better than what Panama has? They got better beaches. And it's probably a little bit more of a laid-back lifestyle. Panama is really intense. everything they do here is intense. But Panama's a very small population, only 4.5 million. And outside the city, it just dwindles down. There's not much. My friends that live in the interior, they love it. So you might want to check that out. If you're looking at Costa Rica, you would do yourself a favor by coming to Panama first, or also visit Panama and see what Panama has to offer. You could be up in the mountains, nice and cool, or you could be on the beach, in the nice sun, or you could be in the area out by Chitre, where my wife's family is from. Is like a desert out there. That's where the sugarcane fields are, and it's really dry. So if you like that kind of climate, it's great. They offer it. Here in Panama City, as you see, it's really rainy. So normal part of life here in Panama. So I want to thank everybody, watching my videos. You guys keep me going, and I will continue doing this. This is number 8 of my crypto rooftop musings. I think that I'm not convinced that crypto is going to rebound right here. Sorry. I still think that we are officially in a bear market. It's just, we make a high, we go down further, we make another high, but it doesn't quite go up as high. Then we just, I think that's what we're doing. We're doing the stair step down right now. We could hit Bitcoin hitting down in the 20s. Sorry guys, I'm not convinced that we're going back up. If we are, great. I'm not too worried though, because like I said, over 90% of my holdings are in Hex. The rest is mixed between things like EDA and a couple privacy coins. All right. So thank you very much. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want me to talk about a specific subject, let me know and I'll be happy to make a video. Cheers.